Part 1. The Smell of Cinnamon and Rain. Rain had started before dawn. It wasn't a thunderous storm or a fierce downpour, just a gentle, steady rain, like soft fingertips tapping the window panes of the rainy day bakery. Elena Wren stood behind the wooden counter, tying her flour-dusted apron around her waist. The warmth of the ovens hugged the air inside, curling like steam against the cold windows. Outside, the sleepy town of Willowsend lay hushed beneath the clouds, the streets slick and shiny under the steady drizzle. The scent of cinnamon rolls had just begun to bloom, weaving itself with fresh coffee and a hint of melted butter. It was the kind of scent that made strangers sigh and regulars smile. Kana loved this part of the day before the first customer arrived, and it felt like the world held its breath. The bell above the bakery door jingled softly, not from a customer, but from the upstairs hallway that led to the rented room above. Leo Hart, the new tenant, was awake earlier than usual. He padded quietly into the shop, his dark hair tousled from sleep, a camera bag slung carelessly over one shoulder. He looked like he belonged in black and white photos, thoughtful, slightly disheveled, and somewhere far away in his mind. "Morning," he said, his voice still raspy with sleep. "Coffee?" Elena asked without looking up. "Always." She poured it slowly, sliding the mug across the counter with a small smile. "You slept okay?" Leo nodded, wrapping his hands around the warm mug. "Great. The rain helped. It sounds ... softer here." Elena glanced up. "That's the thing about Willowsend. Nothing rushes here. Even the storms are polite." They stood in silence for a while, the kind that doesn't demand to be broken. Rain tapped on the windows. The oven dinged softly. A cat meowed somewhere outside. Elena moved with a rhythm, kneading dough, brushing pastries with egg wash, placing a tray of raspberry scones into the oven, and Leo watched like it was a kind of quiet art. He had traveled to over 30 countries in the last 5 years, but this, a woman baking in a sleepy little bakery on a rainy morning, this felt more meaningful than most sunsets he'd photographed, you know? He said after a while, "I think your cinnamon rolls are the reason the rain keeps coming." She raised a brow. "Is that a compliment or a weather report?" He grinned. "Both." As the morning unspooled, the first few regulars arrived. Old Mr. Danvers with his crossword puzzle and grumbly mustache. Ruby and her 6-year-old twins, who always ordered 2 cookies and 1 grown-up latte to feel important. Everyone knew each other. Everyone smiled. And Leo, still a stranger in many ways, was beginning to feel like a part of it. Even if he wasn't sure he wanted to belong anywhere just yet. Around noon, Elena set a plate in front of him. 2 slices of warm banana bread, still soft in the middle. "You forgot breakfast," she said. Again, Leo looked surprised. "You're not charging me. Consider it your tenant nutrition fee. No starving allowed above my bakery." He smiled, not the polite kind, but the kind that comes from somewhere behind the ribs. "You're kind," he said quietly. Elena shrugged. "I just don't like to see people go hungry." The rain didn't stop all day, stayed soft and steady like a lullaby written in water. By evening, the bakery lights cast a warm glow through the fogged-up windows. Elena sat on a stool, rolling her tired wrists, while Leo showed her photos he had taken around town. A mailbox with vines wrapped around it. A sleepy dog in a bookstore window. The way the raindrops gathered like pearls on her bakery sign. "You see things?" she said softly, flipping through his camera. "You create things," he replied, nodding toward the pastries cooling behind her. Neither knew it then. But something gentle had begun, not loud, not romantic, just a thread, woven through cinnamon. Coffee and rain. The next day, the rain still hadn't stopped, but no one in Willowsend really minded. This town loved its weather like it loved its memories, slow, persistent, and always present. Inside the rainy day bakery, the world smelled like vanilla and cocoa powder. Elena had started a fresh batch of chocolate ganache cupcakes. each topped with a swirl of soft pink frosting and a drizzle of caramel that curled like a ribbon. Leo walked in right as she placed the tray on the front counter. His camera dangled from one shoulder, and his eyes held that same sleepy softness that only rainy mornings could give. "You missed the sunrise," Elena said teasingly. Not looking up. "There wasn't one," he replied, removing his coat. "Just clouds trying to remember how to be light." She smiled. Leo shrugged, just observant. He helped her set the chairs that morning, something he'd never been asked to do but always did anyway. Elena had long stopped telling him he didn't need to. It was part of the silent rhythm they were finding, a kind of soft understanding that required no instructions. As they moved, they talked about small things. Like why Elena always refused to use sprinkles. They're cheerful in a way that feels fake. And how Leo once got stuck on a rooftop in Prague just to take a photo of two pigeons kissing. "They moved right before I hit the shutter." At one point, Elena handed him a cupcake. "You earned this for listening to me ramble about frosting for 20 minutes. She said. Leo took a bite, then closed his eyes. "This is unfair." "What?" "You're feeding me emotions." Elena laughed, a warm, full laugh that filled the bakery. "That's the goal." The rain tapped gently on the windows as more customers came in, then trickled out. By afternoon, the bakery was quieter again, just the ticking of the old clock, the crackle of the oven cooling, and the occasional clink of mugs. Leo sat at his usual spot near the front window, flipping through his journal. He didn't write in it, not yet, but he liked the way the pages felt, like they were waiting. Elena emerged from the back room with a soft sigh and 2 steaming mugs. "You look like you're thinking about something," she said, handing him one. Leo paused. "I think I am. Want to talk about it?" He glanced. At her, most people asked that as a formality. But she asked it like she meant it, like she'd actually listen. Even if he said nothing. "I've been moving for so long," he said finally, "going from one place to another. But lately, I've been wondering if I'm just running in circles." Lena didn't answer right away. She let the silence settle between them like sugar in tea. "You ever think," she said slowly, "that maybe some places are meant for resting, not running?" Leo looked out the window. Rain slid down the glass in slow, sleepy trails. Inside, everything smelled like fresh bread and something sweeter than sugar. "Maybe this is one of those places," he said quietly. She nodded. "Maybe." As the day faded into early evening, Leo lingered a little longer than usual. He helped Elena close up shop, stack chairs, clean the counters. They moved together like a well-rehearsed melody, soft, unspoken, steady. When he finally turned to go, he paused at the door. "Elena, these cupcakes? Yes, they might be dangerous." She grinned. "That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me." He smiled, then stepped out into the rain. This time, he didn't put up his umbrella that night. Elena found something curious. A napkin left near the espresso machine, scribbled with messy handwriting. "Some places feed your stomach. This one feeds something else entirely. LH. She folded it gently and slid it into the drawer beside the register, where she kept things she didn't know how to label. Dried lavender, old postcards, and a feather she found on the doorstep last fall. It seemed the right place for it.